Ladies and gentlemen, this is now 3 years in a row that you've been receiving bonuses, and which is wonderful. And what we hope to do, obviously, is to keep up this momentum. As I've said previously on these various occasions, that when we started the partnership with Aitken Spence about 3-4 years ago, it brought about a lot of synergy, a lot of new ways of doing business that was not done in Fiji before. And it is very, very critical for us to understand that we sometimes need to partner with people from outside Fiji to be able to give us that edge. The example that I used over the weekend at speaking to the accountants was that nobody's complained about Ben Ryan being an expatriate. We all, in fact, have adopted Ben Ryan, and it is because of the particular skill sets, the way that he viewed rugby, the psychological makeup that is now a feature of our rugby players, has obviously been led by Ben Ryan quite significantly. So with his assistance, who is an expatriate, we're able to achieve gold for the first time in Fiji, in Olympics, at Summer Olympics. So in the same way, if we view everything in our country, that if we are able to get the best people to do the right job, sometimes they may be expatriates, sometimes they may be locals. Sometimes there could be somebody from Kandavu, could be somebody from Ba, somebody who may be from Suva or Taveuni. Whatever the case may be, it must be the right person for the right job. Because once we are able to think along those lines, then whatever organization we have, whatever sporting body we have, whatever road we have to build, whatever new pipe for water, electricity, for the port, we will always do our best. And by doing the best, we will ensure that Fiji as a country benefits. When Fiji as a country benefits, we will all benefit. So it is therefore very, very critical. I mean, the very simple fact that you used to have levies imposed upon containers that used to come in and out of Fiji, and that levy is no longer the case, or is no longer being applied, means that the cost of goods to Fijian consumers gets reduced. So it's very simple mathematics, and we need to be able to understand that. The other point I'd like to make is that everybody is very, very important. Whether you're a driver, whether you're a port handler, whether you're a secretary, whether you're an accountant, whatever you are, in any team, everybody is important. Because we're like clogs in a wheel. If one clog comes out, you see the bicycle chain. If one bearing comes out, it does not function properly. We are all therefore important. So please, and one of the points that I do like to make wherever I speak to staff in any organization, we've had issues, for example, in the civil service. Sometimes people complain about the driver. The day the driver does not come to work, they're all worried about when is he going to come to work, because he is or she is very, very important. So remember that we have to value everybody within the work cycle. The chairman talked about productivity. Productivity, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very important. If we have increased levels of productivity in Fiji, our total output will increase, our GDP levels will increase, which is the total gross domestic product will increase, which is basically the value of the goods and services we produce. When our GDP increases, it means that government has more money to be able to spend to provide better services. We are at the moment doing free education, we give free medicine, we subsidize electricity costs. Some of you may not realize this, but if your household income is less than $30,000 and you use 95 kilowatts of electricity, we pay 17 cents of each unit cost for you. The government does that. Now, how is government able to do that? Is when the GDP increases, when you have greater productivity. So our Constitution guarantees, and the reason why I'm mentioning the Constitution is because tomorrow is Constitution Day, and I hope many of you will turn up for that. It's, no charge, you can turn up there. And the way you sang the national anthem, I really want to take you everywhere, because the kind of enthusiasm you sang the national anthem with was fantastic. And thank you very much for that. So the Constitution actually guarantees what we call socio-economic rights. In other words, every Fijian has a right to basic health care, has a right to food, has a right to water, has a right to economic participation, has a right to transportation, has a right to be able to have a secure environment. We have a constitution now that's translated in the Braille language. We have to look after our disabled people. These are the many provisions in the constitution that we have that never was there before. We have free education now. So those of you who have children or who have grandchildren, you no longer have to pay their school fees. If they don't get a scholarship when they leave high school, if they're not one of the toppers, they can still go to university and we'll pay for them if you can't pay the school fees. We have now 13 technical colleges. I was in Nanronga a few days ago, and I went up to the Nanronga Navosa Provincial Technical College. And the head teacher there was telling me there's something like 300 students. They have automotive engineering, automotive mechanic work, pastry, cooking, various other carpentry, joinery. He said, we don't actually have to go and look for people, businesses to do work placement. He said, they're actually coming to us. And he said, most of the people, when they go and do the work placement halfway through the course, some of them aren't coming back because there's so much demand for them. So we recognize the fact that not everybody wants to go to university, but we want everybody to finish Form 7. If they want to go to university, they can go to university. If they want to go to technical college, they can go to technical college. What we are doing is creating opportunities. Government is creating opportunities. We create opportunities. You need to seize those opportunities. Your children, your grandchildren need to seize those opportunities. And we want to, therefore, improve your quality of your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't think that you don't play what I'm trying to say, you don't play an important role. Government's job is to give you those things. Your job is to seize that. And wherever you work, remember that you are all contributing to Fiji becoming a much better place. The reality is that if we do not have the level of productivity and the kind of focus we have in management, you won't be able to get the bonuses. I was last week at Fiji Airways, and Fiji Airways is the only company at the moment in Fiji where the staff actually get to share the profits also. Apart from bonus, they also get to share the profits also. Fiji Airways only a few years ago was making a $96 million loss. Last year they made about a $65 million profit. With four brand new aircraft, all of which cost over close to $1 billion. We today fly to LA, San Francisco, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, and other Pacific Island countries. In the same way, our ports can be a truly international port. And we believe there's a lot of opportunities. You've heard the chairman talk about how they want to bring in $5 million worth of more equipment. We also have the Fiji Ports Corporation Limited. The chairman will also tell you we're looking at a development of a port, a modernized port. All of that will help you, will not just help you keep your jobs, increase salaries, but it also will mean we can create more jobs. A lot of people, when they talk about the economy, they forget the fact that we have to constantly create jobs. Nearly 70% of our population is below the age of 40. Nearly 70% of the population is below the age of 40, which means there are a lot of challenges, but we have to create opportunities for these young people too. This is why we are investing in education and various other infrastructure. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for your contribution. We look forward to you doing a lot better. We will always ensure through the boards that, of course, we always look after our staff. A lot of people had this attitude before that certain governments, when they got elected in, one government looked after only the businesses and did not look after workers. Another government looked after only the workers but did not look after businesses. We believe that your government is able to do both. And you can always do both. We can look after all sides and make everybody happy as long as we have a focus on increasing the productivity in our country and doing well as a nation. So thank you once again for your wonderful support. We look forward to your support to your board and the management, and I wish you all a very good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the powerful words of encouragement that you have addressed us this afternoon.